Hello, thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. Today is the SGT Tour, the web tees. So the first tournament in the series this week. We'll all play the web, then the SGT, then the pro, then, if all goes well, the tips. So we'll see where this goes. I'm already in a funny predicament, so you may be able to see on the game here where my ball is not on the tee. It's not in the tee markers. It's 367, and that's about the distance of the hole. And that's because I took a call right before I was going to stream. I was playing around mindlessly, and I didn't realize the ball was in the hitting area, the reading area from the launch monitor, and I just mindlessly chipped the ball. And literally a yard and a half or something. And I forgot it. I already had the tournament queued up, just didn't even think about it. So I'm one stroke down basically already. So we have to start by hitting the 3-wood off the front of the tee, and that's the explanation for that. Now let's get underway and see if we can fix this mess we created ourselves in the easiest of the 4 tours. And let's get aimed correctly too is a big part of this. So we want to be aimed right about there. We're gonna hit 3-wood out and hopefully find the short grass and try to go up and down for par from there. Exciting times. And that's about what I needed to do with the 3-wood, right? Good outcome. Run on up there a little bit. Still a little ways away, but let's see if we can get underway here. We're going to hit 6-iron. Uphill quite a bit. 7-iron would definitely be short. And actually, you know what? We're going to get up there. I know there's a little place you don't want to be right. So let's play a little more margin of error to the miss side here and see if we can play that usual fade in there. Kind of like that. Roll out for a guy, huh? Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Let's have a look at this putt. Okay, we're definitely moving here. There is some break. We'll got to bring this back here and. Oops. Okay, let's get this lined up here. It's going to move 13 feet, 1 inch. We're on 11 stimp today from these tees and playing from about 6,200, 6,300 yards. You can see we've got a little bit of movement there, 13 feet, 1 inch. It's uphill about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. And we'll probably end up trying to basically side door it because we want to miss on the high side, which is probably up there somewhere, I think, at that distance. Let's see. How about it? That is a fun par right there. Put my back against the wall by mindlessly chipping while on the phone and came out here and made a par. I like it. All right, let's get going here. Let's get real. So this is the 510-yard par 5 number 2. You can see it's a dogleg left, which doesn't really play to my ball shape at all. So let's see if we can just get a safety ball out here, huh? Exciting start. Feels like a birdie stole a par. And that's going to fade bad. Whoops. That's not my swing. Well, I mean, it is my swing, I guess, but it's not really my swing. I don't want it to be my swing, but it's the one I have to own. So sometimes it's not my best swing either. That's the problem. So let's get this 3-wood out here again. See if we can hit it somewhat similar to what we did last time. You see, I tend to move this 3-wood quite a bit. Should be safe down the side here, I think, right? Play with it too much. There we go. Let's just get into some kind of position. Yeah, that was a little cutty at it, a little swipey at it, but it gets out to the spot I need it to be. Gives me a reasonable approach. Where'd that tee go? No, that was the 3-wood, wasn't it? All right. So we have 106 yards. Uphill 9 feet, 8 inches. This is definitely, I think, basically all things considered, a stock pitching wedge. Let's see how that works. Oh, and I hit it as bad as I could hit a pitching wedge. Whoops. I mean, I guess I could have bladed it in the forehead out of bounds or something, but set up that nicely on that par 5. That's a real shame. You can see that's just a violent spastic swing. I got to smooth that out a little bit. Over swinging, hitting at the ball right there. So we're downhill 4 inches. Let it ride a little bit to the left here. And that is a terrible, terrible chip. Why did I think that was enough chip? Well, I stole a par on the last one, and now look, I got myself in a very similar situation with a very similar putt. A little faster, a little earlier, I think. So dying at the end though, and it's a little more uphill. So how about it? All right. I stole the par again. I stole the par again. You saw it. You witnessed it live, and thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it. Let's see what we've got going over here. Straight away, 161 yards. If I miss and start to fade away with my usual miss, it'll go to the safe side of the green anyway. So I think that's the play, is straight away. It's uphill a little bit, in between 7 and 6. We're just going to hit the 6 solidly enough to make it the 6. Here we go. Yeah, and it fades back a little bit as predicted. A little deep, maybe. Okay, well, got a good putt out of it at least. I mean, I got a putt out of it. 20-footer plus. Okay, a little double breaker. Probably breaking, well, definitely breaking more in that last part than the first part. So let's build in the first part, which would be actually about right there. Maybe even, yeah, I think about right there. So now let's counteract that with that, plus that, plus that. And I think that's right. It's downhill quite a bit, so we really don't need to hit it much. Doesn't move to the left that much, does it? Look at how fast it is, though, coming down the hill. All right, well, we're saving pars left and right now. Let's see if we can get one going. Well, we know we're moving that much. We're more like that much, and I think we trust it. Up the hill, we're gonna hit it super hard. And we snuck it in the side door. Let's stop relying on those side door putts. Back to a short par 4 here, the 348 yard par 4. Another little gentle to the dog leg shape of this hole, so we're working against me, but we'll get it up in a safe spot. All right, even with the little fade and wrinkle to it, it didn't have too much backspin. 112, down the hill 4 yards, so actually down the hill quite a bit. This is probably a little bit less than that stock wedge. Probably more than either one of those other clubs, so let's go. And a little deep, well, a lot deep. Yeah, well, I said it was less than stock, and then I hit it stock, so what do I expect? Got a bomb putt coming here. Ooh, okay. Challenging putt. Gonna move that much for sure. The very end might be moving back, but that would help me. So, all the way up there, basically 3 screens, let it come back down the hill. Yeah, run out. Okay, into the gimme zone somehow there. You know what, the web tour, actually, come to think of it, might be 6-foot gimmies, 2 yards. Okay, another relatively short par 4. Uphill 6 yards though. It should find the fat part of the fairway. It falls down the hill quite a bit there. And so this week's tournament is in Pebble Beach, obviously. but this is some random Bavarian course, and I don't know if that's just for round one or what. On the Tips tour, it's actually playing Pebble, but on this one, for some reason, it's not. So we'll know more about that in round two. I didn't do any more further research. Uphill, 5 yards full, right? So let's see here, get one on the safe side of the green, let it fade toward the hole. Well, it's probably a little overcooked, or is it? Oh wow, it's deep again. Okay, yep, that was too much. You gonna sit? I'm gonna have to chip that one probably. I just don't really, even though it's a barely having to putt through it in here, I just don't like to have to trust that. It's a hard thing to judge how much that might slow it down. And it's a lot of green to cover, 39 feet if you're putting it. So just gonna try to use the hill, set it off to the right, let gravity feed it back. Doesn't take much. Takes more than that though, doesn't it? Yes, it does. All right, we are putting from this distance way too much so far due to it's not great chips. Gonna move that much? Probably moves that much, I think it's safe to say. And I missed that to take the bogey. Okay, well, I've been flirting with it too many holes. I mean, basically flirted with it every hole and finally got it. So get what you deserve. Let's get back underway here and see if we can fix this some. And I crossed that trying to force the shape. Did I do it? No, I didn't. It's going to be in a hittable place. Sit down. It's going to be in the heavy rough, and that's going to be a tough shot coming up that much hill. How far am I? 125, huh? Tree might be in the way. Let's see what we're looking like over here. Whoops. So let's get that tree out of play a little bit. Can't believe I overcooked that. So that's 125, which would be 9 iron. I'm coming out of, it's downhill flight. So by 5 feet 8 inches, need to get it out of the heavy stuff. Need to miss that tree. So it needs to get a little higher. So we're going to trust 8 iron and hope for the best. Here we go. And pull it left. Bad. Okay. Let's lean on the short game and some 6 to 8 foot curling putts more. That sounds fun, huh? Okay. Let's go. Sit. And now I got to, yep, I guess I called this, didn't I? Okay. Let's hit a putt. Let's get out of here. Let's try to get this thing on track. Just not on track so far. Okay. There we go. It's going to move that much. Going to move, not quite that much, I don't think. I know, it seems like it wouldn't matter, but it sure does. Glad I adjusted it back. Okay, stole another par. Working too hard for all of this. 147 and down the hill, 10 feet plus. That's going to fade off a little, maybe a little scared of the pond, maybe. Don't hold it against me. Okay. Coming downhill, moving to the left, downhill 2 feet 1 inches and a 16 yard. Okay. Not going to move quite that much, but it was better than leaving it short and having a hairy par putt, huh? All right, another par 5. This one fairly short, but you can see the big dog leg left, which will make it a 3-shot par 5 for me for sure, but let's see if we can advance it well for the shape without overcooking it like we did last one. Well, didn't turn it over, didn't overfade it, and got it in a decent position to take some fairway down here. Still working downhill quite a bit, right? 238 to the downhill, but I don't want to try to carry that water. That'd be the dumbest thing I could ever do. So 238 to the hole. I mean, even if I'm doing this, there's just no way I'm reliably hitting that 3-wood over that, although, yeah, I just don't think that's what I should play. So what is it to right here? So if we're, sorry about all this, I know. One of the draws is that I play quick, but I at least got it. So it's 238. So we want to be right there and downhill quite a bit, so 188, and we'll try to play safely to that distance here. Oh, and I'm not going to do that at all. That's trouble. Sit and give me a shot. I am just not able to help myself currently. Just terrible shots all the way around. 81 yards out of the rough. I think that's probably this club because of how much downhill it is. And by this club, I mean sandwich. Make sure it gets up over there. Hit it all the way. Let's see. Wind shouldn't hurt too much. Oh, I didn't hit it well enough. Not even close. Okay, well, here you go. Not capitalizing where I apparently thought I knew my distances, but then couldn't hit anything on the second shot. Now that needs to settle a little bit. Coming up the hill, it shouldn't be too bad. Out of there with a par, but moves to number 9 at 1 over. So let's investigate where they've got us going here. Okay. Whoops. They just got me going straight out there, which I don't hit it that long. Nothing to worry about. Just being sure, but we're really trying to get back on track here. Been off to a very slow start. Are they going to come back at all? Oh, wow. Okay. Not great. What we got now? Over the pond, up high. How far we got? A long ways, 163 still. So we've created just a little bit of trouble. We're creating a lot of need to fly around, aren't we? So let's try to take as little off of that. We got to avoid a huge number here. So I think this is the play. This being a 6-iron and hoping to get it out there into that bunker to the right side. Or, yeah, that's where it's going to go. Okay, didn't really care where it went in the bunker, I don't think. Okay. Let's see here. Downhill 1 feet 2 inch, 1 foot 2 inches, 1 foot 10 inches, 25 yards. Oh no, sit down. Sit down, don't go in there, thank you. I'm gonna have to try to chip this in to avoid another bogey. Well, we did avoid the big number that I was at risk behind that tree though, that's for sure. Didn't move it right enough, so out of there with a bogey. Yep. And 2 over. A lot of fighting to do here. Let's see what we can do. Getting a little bit of a hole here. Putting a good finish in the tournament at risk when you get out to this slow of a start in the first round. So. Okay, well, we're out in the fairway. Just not really able to hit these approach shots very well right now, so let's work to the margin of error. We're going up the hill again pretty good, so I'm going to take this in between and take the longer club. See about getting to fade toward the hole. Not that much. Well, it at least gives me a putt, but it's not hitting the irons well at all. And I'm leaving a lot of these putts, whether it's par or for birdie. Okay, well, out of there with a par, at least no blood, but goodness, we gotta do something about all this, don't we? All right, should be kind of a stock 7-iron in here. It'll fade to my strength, fat part of the green if need be. How about it? Oh, woo! Wow, well that would have been a big turnaround, but instead we got to putt it and it's going to be curling. Let's see what we got here. Wow. I mean, it really is moving that much, even though it's short. And it moved more than that. Okay. Out of there with the par. Let's see if we can get ourselves in position again. This is a reasonable par 4 to do that. Let's see here. There we go. That's hit pretty well for this guy. Gives me a reasonable look in here with a reasonably short iron, still uphill quite a bit, so that kind of puts it, I don't know, this is a tough one. This is in between 8 and 9 for me. I'm not hitting the ball well, so I'm going to choose the 8 and hope the hill takes care of the rest. Yeah. Stay on the green for a guy, huh? How much is that going to leave? Is that leaving the green? No. Okay, we'll get an uphill putt then is the good news. Not moving too much, but probably moving that much. Ooh, probably moving just a hair more than that, actually. Probably a mouse click of that. Just didn't even get it up there, did I? Wasn't hit hard enough. Settles for a par. Last couple of birdie putts haven't been my best efforts. That was online. Just not fast enough, so it died off to the left. Par 5 uphill considerably. Should shape with it. Oh, it needs to go though, huh? Oh, come on down away from there. All right, well, it is a par 5, and for me, probably a 3-shot par 5, so we just got to get high enough to avoid that lip out front, so it's a 7 wood for me to try to get out there reasonably, I think. Let's see how that works out. That's terrible. It didn't get above the lip because I hit it so low. Well, we are working awfully hard to give this up. Tough stretch. Okay, what do we got here? Uphill probably still. Yep, 5 feet, 2 inches. I think that's this one right here. This one being my 52-degree wedge. And kind of like maybe slightly less than stock. Go. Oh, it's deep. I didn't expect it to be deep because it was so uphill. But I didn't expect that wind blow. So here we are with another long curling putt. And this one's for par. So, wow. This sure isn't helping me. Downhill a lot. I'm going to give up turning, isn't it? Yep. Well, there's another bogey to go to 3 over with not a lot of holes to play, so we're going to have to do something somewhere along the way somewhere. Okay, downhill, oh no, about flat. I think this is that 52-yard wedge because it's about flat, 52-degree wedge. And I pulled that immediately. Whew. Okay, well, another big long bomb just to try to lag close. Probably doesn't move quite that much, does it? Okay, there's one back. Gets a birdie to 2 over. See if we can keep some of this going, huh? Get another good short iron in off of a decent drive here. Wow, through the fairway. I never go through the fairway. Oh, well, look at that. It's 141 mile an hour club ball speed for me. That's pretty rare too. 88 yards, but downhill. And I think that actually might even be a sand wedge and just let it be because it's coming down the hill so much. Let's see. Should be a smooth sand wedge, I think. I blocked it, didn't I? Gonna bounce for me a little bit. All right, well, what kind of putt are we looking at? Well, don't look now, but it's not moving much. Moves a little bit that way and then a little bit back the other way. Whew. I think it's that right there. We got it, huh? There we go. Another birdie, gets to 1 over for the round and the tournament, this is just round 1. So coming into 16, trying to keep some momentum going and see if we can't get something back into play because it went real south for those early holes. All right, 168, 170 basically, downhill 9 feet 2. I think this is just going to be that kind of smooth 6-iron effort at it instead of going standing on the 7-iron. Smooth, like I ever swing it smooth. Criminy. Well, accurately predicted him that I didn't swing it smoothly, but he's at least got another relatively straight putt. And those, it's probably moving just, it's going to move that way, but then probably a hair more from that. We'll come back at the end and then knock that way. Inside of that, I think, even. And this one's downhill again, so it's going to be very similar to that last one, I think. Oh, no, I pushed it off just enough, didn't I? Yep, 0.1 degrees. But you know, that probably was just overread. That's all. That was probably overread. So we come to 17. Oh, I have to finish this. Okay, so it's not 2 yards. So, yeah, it must be. Certainly don't want to give the hole up on this short of a putt, so. Okay, we come to 18, no, 17, okay. Well, a par 3, straight away, uphill. We're not even going to treat the wind like it's a factor here. And that is pulled. Just kind of a little eager, I guess. Sit. Gonna have to putt that one again. Save the old par, and this one's twisting and curling again. Well, good news, it's short. Bad news is it's really moving a lot. Okay, now we're off to 18, which is a long downhill par 5. I guess not so long, but let's have a look at where a guy like me ends up. I think they're going to aim me right down there, and it's going to be fine pretty much no matter what I hit. So here we go. 25 yards downhill. Good chance for me to hit one decently. A little too much fade. Sweating. It's getting a little warm in here. What's this doing? Nope, into that bunker, huh? Stay off the lip. Stay off the lip. We already got stung once. Uh-oh. We might be getting stung again. Nah, we're just going to make sure, though, right? Because we really only need to be about here, which is 189. Here. Okay. It is the 7-wood, and it's just trusting it, like not letting it hit the lip is basically what it is, because it can get high enough. It should get high enough. Just don't go low with it. There we go. All right, sky high. How high did that go anyway? That went 117 feet high out of the bunker off the 7-wood. And yes, I am sweating. Now I got 92 yards into this par 5 for the approach. Uphill 8 feet 1 inches. And I think just maybe a slight bit amped up, warmed up, sweating, wanting to finish strong. I think should have a little extra, which means I'm taking this 52 or 52 degree, I always say 52 yard, 52 degree wedge, uphill 8 feet. I'm going to have to swing it fairly firm and flight it down a bit. Oh, and not pull it, but I did that. I did that. Sit down soft. Spin off a hill or something. Begging you. No, there's nothing but a long putt for me. And it's moving a lot. So let's drop a bomb to get back to even, to get some kind of chance to get a little better spot after the second round. Moving that much. It's moving that much. It's moving that much. And it's moving that much. Downhill quite a bit, so it's not going to take much. And it was just a little, it broke just a little more than that. So settles for a 1 over. Appreciate you joining me again for round 1 of the SGT Tour web tees. I will be back in just a few moments for round 2, but for now I'm going to end this stream, start a new stream. Join me back in about 5 minutes, and I'll probably stream quite a bit today. Feeling pretty good, and I feel like I might be able to score, but I sure didn't there. Let's look at the stats real quick before I cut out. 8 of 14 fairways. That's not great for me. I should be hitting more than that. So these are some areas I can improve. That's too many putts for me, leaving all those putts and missing the par putts. So ball speed's about what I'd expect it. Good, decent with the total putting. And remember, this drive, all of this can, well, the best doesn't matter, but everything else takes that first one, which my first drive on 1 was technically like 1 yard or something. So, okay, we will see you again very soon. Appreciate you joining me again. And tune back in for the next stream very shortly. Thanks for being here.